Ah, yes. Good morning, Browns fans. Now, last night I got the word that the Browns traded for Jarvis Landry, which I thought was a big deal. But I was wondering what the compensation was. I didn't get home from work till about midnight, so I just went to sleep, figured I would deal with it this morning. Woke up this morning, hopped on YouTube just to see if the regular channels, if they had posted anything. And boom, here we are. The Browns made two more additional trades. Now, of course, everybody knows that they traded for Tyrod Taylor, Jarvis Landry, and cornerback Demarius Randall. And they also got the Packers' fourth and fifth round picks for this draft. Now, the main thing was, what did they give up? Because the Dolphins were asking for at least a second round pick for Jarvis Landry. But instead, what the Browns gave up was a third round pick in this draft, a fourth round pick in this draft, a seventh round pick in 2019, Deshaun Kaiser, bye bye, and of course the fourth and fifth round picks in this year's draft. So they didn't give up anything big, including Deshaun Kaiser, in order to acquire talent that actually works. Now, you're talking about Tyrod Taylor. Now, he's the biggest question mark because we know all of the things that was going on with him in Buffalo. But for those of you who don't know, it was cause he can he is he a top 15 quarterback? Is he a top 10 quarterback? Can he develop? Is he going to regress? They didn't know. So I went and I looked at the stats of Tyrod Taylor, which I have right here. Now, for his career, ever since he moved to Buffalo, because do understand that when he was in Baltimore, the 4 years that he spent in Baltimore, he was a backup. So you can't really count those because he didn't really play that much. Spot duty. I mean, it's Joe Flacco. When is the last time you remember Joe Flacco being out for a long period of time? Exactly. So, excuse me, here we go. So, Tyrod Taylor, he has a career 62.4% completion percentage, which you put him in the around the 15, I would say around the 12 to 15 range of quarterbacks. But do also understand that he was playing in Buffalo in what is that guy's name? That defensive coordinator that talks way too much. Uh, is it Rex Ryan? He was playing in that offense. When have you known that guy to have an offense? He's just a defensive minded coach. So there you have that. He made Shady McCoy a star because they just run the football and just run it and run it and run it. I mean, Shady McCoy was already a star from Philadelphia, but he helped bolster it by giving him the football up in Buffalo. So they weren't really a passing team. He averaged for the 3 years that he was the starter in Buffalo at 3,000 yards passing per season. For all 3 years, he had 3,035 in 2015, 3,023 in 2016, and 2,799 in 2017. That's not bad for a team that is primarily a running team. So, and the only reason why he didn't pass for 3,000 yards in the 2017 season was because he was benched. Remember, he was benched one game and he missed another. So that happens. Now, in those 3 years, 15, he passed for 20 touchdowns to six interceptions. In 2016, he passed for 17 touchdowns to six interceptions. And in 2017, he passed for 14 touchdowns with four interceptions. So this guy, he does not turn the ball over. He just doesn't. He's very, very solid. You can depend on him to at least make the right reads. And if he doesn't make the right read, if he doesn't get the ball where it needs to be, there's a very low chance that it'll be picked off. And that is one of the problems that the Browns quarterbacks have had ever since they came back is that they make bad reads, bad throws, and the ball gets picked off. You can't have turnovers. We haven't had a 3,000 yard passer since Derek Anderson. That's a long time. Derek Anderson has played football in Cleveland since what, 07, 08, around that time. That is over 10 years. That's bad. Excuse me, it's the coffee. So with that said, Tyrod Taylor, although he may not be the future in Cleveland, at least you get a solid quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over, which is what you need. You need solid quarterback play. So that's at least the good news there. Now, of course, as we know, Jarvis Landry, he's going to make his catches. The guy has over 400 yards, 400 receptions in 4 years in the league. That's good. He had I think he had 113 last year, which is fantastic. And he was disgruntled and he still went out and performed. That's good, because you don't know what's going to happen with Josh Gordon. You don't know if he might slip up and fail another drug test. You don't know if Corey Coleman will get hurt. And if you really ask me, I think Corey Coleman is trade bait. He really is. I think you should go ahead and put him on the market for maybe a 3rd or 4th round pick, because the guy just cannot stay healthy. We're going on year 3. We're holding our breaths just to see if he can make it through mini camp, let alone training camp, let alone preseason, a game. Can he last a season? Too brittle, way too brittle. So you're still in the market for wide receivers. Now, at cornerback, of course, Demarius Randall, he wound up being one of the Packers' best cornerbacks, especially late in the season, but he was disgruntled. He didn't want to play there. He got benched in one game. He got sent home in another. He he actually, in the middle of one game, got sent to the locker rooms. So him being in Green Bay, that just didn't work out. He just didn't like being in Green Bay. I don't know if it's a Marcus Peters situation with Marcus Peters. He always had attitude problems. We don't know. But at least we got somebody that can play. Now, do the Browns still need another corner? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because I am not so I am so not so on the other guy. Oh, goodness gracious. I can't believe his name escapes me, but it's still early in the morning. But I do think that they need help in the secondary for sure. So, but let's get to the bottom line. What does this mean about the draft? I say you still take a quarterback at number 1. Still take a quarterback at number 1. And at number 4, if Saquon Barkley is there, great, snatch him up. If he's not there, then you go Minkah Fitzpatrick. All right. Can you convince Isaiah Crowell to stay? Hopefully you can. If not, it's okay. You have 3 second-round picks. If you can get one of these other running backs that I listed in the last video, if you can get one of those 3 running backs in there, fine. That's beautiful. Because then you're at least still getting impact players. If not, you are in a world of hurt. But you definitely need a running back. You still need another corner. You definitely need a free safety. Still need a middle linebacker. All right. You still need a quarterback for the future. And you need at least one more wide receiver. So, and free agency doesn't start till Thursday. So we'll see what happens on Thursday. All right. I didn't plan on holding you guys long. I just want to get that out. I am very excited. I can't wait to see what happens now. In Dorsey, we trust. Because as I've said all along, when he got hired and the season ended, what's going to make or break this franchise is what happens in free agency and the draft this year. With all of the picks that you have and all of the cap space that you have, there's no way you should mess this up. And right now, they are off to a great start. All right. See you guys when free agency starts. I can't wait to see what happens. Woo.